Welcome back to the Brandon Show. Okay, today the episode is called Real Life Examples of Gray Rock and Broken Wing Methods Against Narcissists and Cluster B Personality Disorders. The Gray Rock method and the Broken Wing method are strategies employed by individuals to protect themselves from manipulative behaviors, often exhibited by narcissists and those with cluster B personality disorders, such as borderline personality disorder, BPD, antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, histrionic personality disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder, MPD. These methods aim to minimize the emotional engagement and reduce the likelihood of being targeted for manipulation or abuse. The Gray Rock Method. The Gray Rock Method involves becoming emotionally unresponsive and uninteresting to a manipulative individual. The goal is to make oneself as dull and unengaging as possible, thereby discouraging the narcissist or person with a cluster B disorder from seeking attention or interaction. 1. Example in a workplace setting. Imagine an employee who works under a narcissistic boss who constantly seeks validation and attention. The employee can adopt the Gray Rock method by responding to their boss's demands with minimal emotional investment. For instance, instead of engaging in lengthy discussions about personal life or showing excitement over projects, they might respond with short, factual answers like yes or I'll get that done. This approach can help reduce the boss's interest in them as a target for manipulation. 2. Example in family dynamics. In a family where one member exhibits narcissistic traits, another family member may choose to implement the Gray Rock technique. During family gatherings, instead of sharing personal achievements or feelings that could provoke jealousy or competition, they might stick to neutral topics like weather or general news. By doing so, they limit the opportunities for conflict or emotional exploitation. 3. Example in romantic relationships. A person dating someone with the traits of BPD may find that their partner often seeks intense emotional reactions. By using the Gray Rock method, they could respond to dramatic outbursts with calmness and neutrality, saying things like, I understand you're upset, without escalating emotions further. This can help de-escalate situations where drama is likely. Broken wing method. The broken wing method involves portraying oneself as vulnerable or needing help in order to elicit sympathy rather than aggression from a manipulative individual. This strategy can sometimes disarm narcissists by shifting their focus from exploitation to caretaking. 1. Example in social situations. An individual at a social gathering finds themselves cornered by narcissistic acquaintance who thrives on dominating conversations. They might use the broken wing approach by expressing feelings of anxiety about social interactions. I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. This statement can prompt the narcissist to shift their focus from controlling the conversation to offering support, thus reducing their aggressive tendencies. Example in therapy settings, a client dealing with a therapist who has narcissistic tendencies might express feelings of inadequacy or fear regarding the therapy progress. I feel like I'm not making any progress. By presenting themselves as needing guidance rather than challenging authority, they may receive more constructive feedback rather than criticism. 3. Example in friendships. In friendships where one person exhibits cluster B traits, another friend might say something like, I've been feeling really down lately. I could use some encouragement. This vulnerability can lead the friend with cluster B traits to feel needed and less inclined toward manipulative behavior since they are now positioned as someone who can provide support. Conclusion. Both methods serve distinct purposes when dealing with individuals exhibiting narcissistic or cluster B personality traits. The Gray Rock technique focuses on minimizing engagement and emotional response, while the broken wing method aims at eliciting empathy through vulnerability. Each strategy can be effective depending on the context of interactions and personal circumstances. Top 3 sources use Psychology Today, a leading publication that provides insights into psychological concepts, including personality disorders and coping strategies for dealing with difficult personalities. Very Well Mind, an online resource offering evidence-based information on mental health topics, including practical advice on managing relationships with individuals exhibiting problematic behaviors. National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAM, a reputable organization dedicated to educating about mental health conditions, including personality disorders. It provides resources for understanding these disorders and coping mechanisms for affected individuals.